Are you ready for some football?
Last January, the Dallas Cowboys completed a 4-year ascent to the pinnacle of professional football. The kill shot was emphatic. A 52-17 victory over the Buffalo Bills to win Super Bowl 27. Tonight in Washington, the defense of the Super Bowl title begins. But it's doubly hard to do it again, and the Cowboys must now confront the demons that bedevil a championship team hoping to retain its title. But don't pity Dallas coach Jimmy Johnson.
We have an excellent football team. We have a lot of talent on this team, and our guys understand how to win, and they have a tremendous amount of confidence.
And no player is more ready to prove Johnson right than quarterback Troy Aikman.
We're ready to go. I feel good about this football team. I think everybody's really looking forward to getting this season underway and putting all the speculation and talk behind us and seeing what kind of team we're going to have.
The world champion Dallas Cowboys face the Washington Redskins on the season premiere of the 24th year of ABC's Monday Night Football. Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium in the nation's capital on a warm Labor Day evening, and this stadium will be rocking tonight as the Redskins and Cowboys kick off their 1993 season. Hello again, everyone. I'm Frank Gifford, along with Al Michaels and Dan Dierdorf, and welcome to our first regular season telecast of our 24th year of bringing you Monday Night Football. It doesn't get any better than this. RFK Stadium, prime time. The last two Super Bowl winners, the Redskins, of course, going 13-3 in 1991. They won Super Bowl 26. They fell to 9-7 a year ago, and now Richie Pettibone is a new coach who will try to get them back into that Super Bowl. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys, they've been on an unbelievable 4-year trip under head coach Jimmy Johnson, owner Jerry Jones. They went from 1-15 in 1989. They won it all big time against Buffalo, 52-17 in last January in the Super Bowl, and they are ready to repeat. But Al Michaels, again, welcome to our 24th year, your 8th year, my 23rd, Dan's 7th. Something happens when you win the Super Bowl. You get the fame, you get the glory, you get the wealth, but you also get the problems.
And you get a real big problem if you're Dallas. You get no Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith is unsigned, and all he has done the last 2 years is lead the National Football League in rushing. So instead of Emmitt Smith tonight, Washington takes a look at Derek Lassick, a 4th-round rookie draft choice from the University of Alabama. But they still have Aikman, and they still have the great receivers in Harper, Irvin, and Novacek. Jimmy Johnson told us last night, he said, we are a better team than the Redskins even without Emmitt Smith. And one reason he can feel that way is that despite not sending one defensive player to the Pro Bowl last year, their overall defense was #1 in the National Football League. And tonight they'll face a Redskin offense that, frankly, Dan, was very up and down last season, led by Mark Rippon, but a Redskin offense that plays at RFK Stadium, one of the great scenes in the National Football League.
It certainly is, Alan. I can tell you from a former player's perspective, a tough place to play because you can be intimidated by this crowd, and it's hard to win here. It's just that nobody told the Dallas Cowboys. Somehow they've won 3 of their last 5 meetings here at RFK. A couple of key matchups tonight. When Washington has the ball, a lot of pressure on their left tackle, Mo Elowinibi. He's replacing the great Jim Lachey, and he has to go against Charles Haley. They're going to have to help him out early because he'll certainly be tight at the start of this ball game. Now, when Dallas has the football, look to the wideouts. Look to Alvin Harper and Michael Irvin. They enjoy a tremendous height advantage against the 2 5'8" cornerbacks of the Redskins, A.J. Johnson and Darrell Green. They're going to have to win the ball game tonight by passing the ball, talking about the Cowboys. Finally, I'd just like to say this. We talked about this being our 24th year to open up here at RFK. It's just absolutely perfect. We're glad you're with us, and let's do it.
And we'll do it before the normal capacity crowd. Every seat sold for the entire season, and the Dallas Cowboys have sold every seat for each of their home games in 1993. So the Cowboys, who won the Super Bowl last year against the Redskins, who won the Super Bowl following the 1991 season, and Chip Lohmiller, one of the best in the league, to kick off as Dallas will take over on offense for the first series, minus Emmitt Smith, as we take a look at Kevin Williams, number 85. He's a rookie from Miami, and Brock Marion, a rookie from Nevada Reno. Marion is there to block. Jimmy Johnson has said, I want the ball in Williams' hands. It bounces at the 11. Williams takes it from the 6. and brings it back up to the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Pat Eilers, and here come the Cowboys. Troy Aikman, he was the #1 pick in the draft in 1989 out of UCLA, now in his 5th year, Super Bowl MVP. He's gotten better every year. Johnston is the blocking back. Lassick is the running back. Harper and Irvin are the wideouts. Novacek, the tight end. 2 and 8, Newton, Stepnoski, Gogan, and Williams, the interior 5. John Giesick, who would normally start at 1 guard spot, not here. Aikman fumbles the first snap, and about as inauspicious a beginning for a defending Super Bowl champion as you'll ever see, as the initial snap is fumbled by the quarterback.
Wasn't Washington's first play last year as defending Super Bowl champs a sack by the Cowboys?
By Vincent Smith, who's now with Chicago.
Must be about the Super Bowl start that is less than glamorous.
At least he recovers it. 2nd down and 12. They send Johnston in motion. And here is Derek Lassick's first carry, and it's a nice one as he takes it out to the 33-yard line. He is hit there by Brad Edwards, the safety. Here's the Redskin defense. They play a base 4-3 with Mann, Williams, Johnson, and Shane Collins up front. Andre Collins is hurt, so it is Carl Banks, the former Giant, Gouveia in the middle, and Monty Coleman spelling Collins. Johnson and Green are at the corners, and Copeland and Edwards are the safeties. 3rd down and 4 from the 33-yard line. Aikman's first pass of the season is on the money at the 39-yard line. It is caught by Michael Irvin, and that's enough for a first down. Irvin well covered, but Aikman drills it in there. And Irvin, who's seemingly every catch results in a first down, picks one up here.
Well, Dan touched on just how big these outside receivers are. 5'8" Darrell Green. He was in a good position to play the ball, but the body was shielded out by Michael Irvin.
And watch him all night long, guys, on how he shields himself. He'll use his arms. He'll use anything. Michael Irvin, one of the best in the league at separating himself from a cornerback.
Lassick again, and he's hit by Banks and squirts forward, but they rule it down at the 41. We talked about Irvin. Irvin last year caught 78 passes to lead the team. 71 of those receptions good for a first down.
And he had a 17.9 average, and that's just almost unbelievable. But he is an incredible clutch player. And getting back to Derek Lassick, who, of course, replaced Emmitt Smith, Jimmy Johnson told us, well, look, he is about a 170-pounder and a 190-pound body, but he'll give us everything he's got. He won't make the break the tackle that Emmitt Smith will, but he'll give you it all.
2nd and 7 at the 41. Here's a draw. Here's Lassick. And he fights his way for about a yard and a half. And he's pushed back by Mann, among others. And you caught a glimpse there of the type of runner that he is. He'll do some spinning. He's used to playing in front of big crowds as Lassick. I mean, after all, Alabama was the national champion last year.
Well, he's the type of a player that looks for a hole rather than trying to create a hole. Emmitt Smith was more of, to use a football term, a north and south runner. He always was going straight up the field. Not so with Derek Lassick. He will take a chance to go laterally to try to make a big play.
3rd and 5, Lassick out. Kevin Williams comes in the slot. Johnston stays in the block. Aikman gets good protection, and then the pass is incomplete as it is broken up by Darrell Green. Harper was open and was open for a while over the middle, but the pass was late, and Green gets in there to break it up and force a punt.
Aikman looking downfield, and he did not see Harper come open. He was open for the first down completion. By the time Aikman comes back to him, Green has made the coverage. Look across the middle. He gets shielded out. Green gets taken out by his own man, Gouveia. By the time Aikman comes back to him, he's covered. Good play by Green.
You think Darrell Green still has a burst to the football? Harper was 2 yards in front of him, and he ate it up and still got a hand on the ball.
Ryan Mitchell to accept the kick from the new Dallas punter, John Jett, after Mike Saxon had done the punting for years. Mitchell fields at the 7, and the normally dangerous Mitchell is smothered back at the 5-yard line by rookie Darren Smith. So So the Skins get it, but deep in their own territory. 3.5 minutes into our opener. ABC's Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Lay's Potato Chips, the proud sponsors of the opening video with Bon Jovi. Bet you can't eat just one. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. And by Apple, the creators of Newton. Here are the Redskins offensively for the first time in 1993. They begin with a two-back set, Biner and Mitchell, behind Mark Rippon. And a flag as the Cowboys appeared to jump. Mitchell takes it out to the 9. Leon Lett came across the line. Jerry Markbright will tell us if he was induced or whether it's 5 yards against Dallas.
Well, it was a serious head bob by Mark Rippon.
Offside, number 78, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
It'll be 1st and 5. Let's take a look at this Redskin offense, and they're going to use more two-back this year than ever. Mark Rippon, great year in 91, off year in 92, had a fine preseason. And we'll take a look at the rest after the play. 1st down and 5 from the 11. 11:15 to play. First quarter, no score. And on a draw, Brian Mitchell fights his way close to a 1st down. Remember, he needed only 5. Jones makes the tackle. Biner and Mitchell in the two-back set. Now Ricky Sanders becomes their ace receiver with McGee on the other side. Monk on the bench to start. Middleton is the tight end. Elowanibi in place of the injured Lachey, who's gone for the season, with Brown, McKenzie, Schlereth, and Simmons, the interior 5. And as Dan mentioned, the interesting matchup on that left side, Elowanibi against Haley and company. On 1st and 10, a little swing pass to Brian Mitchell, and he goes nowhere. Ken Norton, coming off a terrific Super Bowl, makes the tackle just back of the line of scrimmage. Defensively now, Dallas #1 last year. They rotate along the front with Colbert, Jones, Lett, and Haley the starters. Then the 3 linebackers are Dixon, Edwards, Robert Jones in his 2nd year in the middle, and Ken Norton really coming into his own. Kevin Smith and Brown are the corners. Washington and Everett are the safeties. Art Monk is in the game. He's their number 3 receiver. He lines up stacked to the left on 2nd and 12. It's a dump off to Mitchell, and he takes it to the 20-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and 7. Robert Jones makes the hit. Richie Pettibone has never been a head coach until now, and he finally gets the job at age 55.
And the one he really wanted, he hadn't been considered by New Orleans and the Bears, and I think he just feels he was so fortunate he stayed around this long. The job that he really wanted, the Washington Redskins, when Joe Gibbs stepped down last winter.
9:30 to go. Opening quarter, 3rd and 7. Rippon doing some adjusting. The play clock is down to 3. They need 7. And Rippon throws. It's Monk, but he cannot make the catch, standing on the boundary, and it's 4th down. Covering on the play was Kenneth Gant. And so the Redskins will be forced to kick, and we'll take another look at Kelly Goodburn. They went out and spent a 3rd-round draft choice on Ed Bunn, and when you spend a 3rd-rounder on a punter, you want him to win the job, but he didn't. All it did was inspire Goodburn, and he'll be punting in the direction of Kevin Williams. Wobbly kick, very poor kick, and it's out of bounds in Washington territory, and they will mark it out at the 44. It's a 24-yard kick.
Ed Bunn's chuckling now.
Yes. On this pleasant Labor Day night in the nation's capital, the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes providing the scenics. Always a great scene. RFK Stadium opening night. Dallas and Washington, one of the league's great rivalries. No score, 9:10 to play, 1st quarter. Dallas at the Washington 44. Derek Lessick swings to the outside and picks up 3. Out of bounds at the 41-yard line, led by Nate Newton's block.
Never has 303 pounds moved so quickly. Big Nate Newton pulling out from his left guard position.
A Pro Bowl football player and a guy who periodically throughout his career has battled the weight problem and seemingly has convinced everybody that, hey, I'm just big and I can play big. And as long as you play like you play, Nate, you can weigh whatever you want to weigh. A good, solid football player.
He and Stepnoski each going to the Pro Bowl last year. 2nd and 7. Aikman on the deep drop with good protection finds the wide open Irvin, and he's tackled by A.J. Johnson about 1.5 yards shy of the first down at the 37-yard line.
When the Dallas Cowboys were taken over by Jimmy Johnson, their offensive line was really the weakest part of their ball club. And now they've evolved into having Newton and Stepnoski as Pro Bowlers. Eric Williams, number 79, the right tackle, will probably be a Pro Bowler this year. He has really blossomed. And Tuane and Giesick and Gogan give them one of the strongest offensive lines in the entire league. It's been a reversal that has matched the rest of the team.
3rd and a short 2, and Aikman will seek it through the air, and his pass is dropped by Irvin, who gets double covered by A.J. Johnson and Brad Edwards, and popped as the ball got there.
And the preseason's over, Frank.
Oh boy, Aikman trying to slip it into the slot between A.J. Johnson and the safety who was coming over. And you just wonder, on a 3rd down and 1.5 yards or 2, would not Emmitt Smith have been given that call? You can almost assure that. He averages 4.9 against the Redskins, but they felt they had to go up on top. They went to their other superstar, Michael Irvin. Good coverage by the Redskins.
And Frank, the other part of your question is, if Emmitt Smith is in the game, is Brad Edwards, who came from inside to make that hit, closer to the line of scrimmage?
It's 4th down and 2. And Aikman came up to the line of scrimmage and took a timeout because the play clock was down to 2. 7:56 remaining in the first quarter. No score. Well, Jimmy Johnson has his first big strategic decision of the season. 4th down, a short 2. The ball is at the Washington 36. So you can either punt, opt for a 53-yard field goal attempt, or go for it. And he's going to go for it. Derek Lassick, the sole back. That's Harper in motion, and Aikman to throw, and he dumps it off to Lassick. Lassick able to avoid one tackle, and then with a second effort, he gets the ball to the 35-yard line, but short of the first down. Alvoid Mays missed him, and then he almost was able to pick up the first, but misses by less than 1 yard.
Yeah, but Alvoid Mays made Derek Lassick do what he didn't want to do, break it back to the inside. He had to move to the inside. The pursuit was so quick. It closed in on the young rookie from Alabama. Now here's Alvoid missing right there, but that means that Lassick had to bring it back inside. By the time he recovered, Darrell Green, with his great speed, was there.
He almost got it. And quite a statement by Johnson about what he thinks about his rookie going to him on 4th down.
From the 35-yard line, here's Rippon. And Rippin's going to go deep. Rippon looking for McGee, but overthrows him by about 7 yards, and he was sandwiched anyway. And the pressure that time put on by Tony Tolbert.
That was a good overthrow, too. He wanted to go McGee all the way. He wanted him deep. He didn't have time, had to move around. He just threw that away.
McGee came over from Cincinnati. You can forget about the posse. Gary Clark is now in Phoenix. Art Monk is a sub, and Richie Pettibone has made Ricky Sanders, who was number 3 in the old posse, their number 1 guy. Number 83 really has to step it up this year. That's Mitchell in motion, leaving nobody in the backfield, and the pass is caught up at the 36-yard line by Ernest Biner for a minimal gain. It'll be 3rd and 9. Dixon Edwards, the linebacker, making the tackle.
Boy, and you can really see the speed of the Dallas Cowboys. Jimmy Johnson likes speed. He likes more speed and more speed than that. He doesn't care so much about the size. The Cowboys, with only one linebacker over 240 pounds, he wants speed. And you saw it there on a kind of a screen out there in the flat, and the Cowboys reacted to it so quickly.
Watch Haley on this one. Eloanibi kind of tackled him last time. I think there's some hostility here.
3rd and 9. They've got the safety, the special teamer Bill Bates, playing in a linebacking spot and dropping back into coverage. And Rippin's going deep, and this one is overthrown. And again, the coverage was very good on Tim McGee. Larry Brown was with him step for step, and there's a flag down. And a conference at the 37-yard line near the line of scrimmage. The penalty is against Washington. Dallas can decline it. 6:52 to go in a scoreless first quarter. And the Redskins will be forced to punt for the second time. Here's Mark Bright.
Pass interference, number 81, offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Art Monk.
And if you were watching the pass protection last time, you saw where the Redskins elected to keep one of their receivers in. A tight end stayed in to double team Charles Haley. So even though Haley doesn't get to the quarterback, he has an impact on the passing game by keeping an eligible receiver in the backfield.
Here's Goodburn to punt to the rookie Kevin Williams. Line of scrimmage is the 37, and this is a far better kick. His last one was 25 yards. This one is fumbled at the 17-yard line. And the Washington Redskins with Pat Eilers, who's become a special teams maven and maniac in preseason, coming up with it.
But Johnny Thomas,
Yes.
Johnny Thomas, number 41, scared the ball out. He's the guy that ought to get credit. When Johnny Thomas goes by Williams, he distracts him. Watch him come from the right part of your screen. From the left, actually, moving by the right. And that is what actually distracts Williams to the point. And the official said he didn't get close enough. You're supposed to stay a yard away. Does he? Boy, that's a heck of a fake by Johnny Thomas. Big time play.
And Washington to try to capitalize from the 16. The catch is made by the tight end Ron Middleton. He's out of bounds at the 15. It's a gain of 2.
Kevin Williams has probably not seen this. He is a very confident University of Miami player. He's seen most everything in football, but he got so distracted there, he lost his concentration and gave up the football.
Well, how do you blame a guy for getting distracted? It looked like, I'm sure he thought he was going to be steamrolled. From up here, I thought Thomas was going to run right over the top of it.
Yeah, but after he does it a few times, he knows that man is not going to hit him. Well, he better hope he doesn't hit him.
Again, a reminder, the preseason is over.
2nd and 8. There's the fake to Mitchell. And the pass is tipped and nearly picked off at the 2. James Washington should have had the interception as the ball was deflected. 3rd down and 8 upcoming. Dixon Edwards, I think, is the man who got his hand on it.
That's almost the equivalent of a receiver dropping a touchdown pass. A chance to intercept the ball close to your own goal line. There you see it tipped by Tolbert. And that's just right in the hands of James Washington. That's a drop that ends up costing your team points when they're in the red zone like this.
3rd down and 8 at the 15-yard line. That's Monk in motion to the same side as Sanders. Rippon stepping up. Rippon throwing for Sanders, and he can't make the catch at the 8-yard line. He's draped by Gant. And Washington can't capitalize, at least to the extent of a touchdown. Instead, they'll bring in Lohmiller for what for him should be an easy field goal.
Rippon was looking deep for Tim McGee in the end zone, and this is the receiver he wanted. Top of your screen, that's McGee. He'll break it off working against Larry Brown. He's saying wide open. Rippon, meanwhile, has given up on him. He fires it in too hot for it to be handled by Sanders, and now comes the field goal.
31-yard attempt for Lohmiller, and this one is close and no good for a guy who's almost automatic.
And everybody in a blue shirt in this stadium is really happy. None more so than James Washington, who dropped that interception.
Now it's time for our regular feature on what's new in the world of sports science and technology. Last year, when inside the opponent's 20, and that's where Washington just was, they were 3rd from last in the league. Only Seattle and Cleveland worse. As you can see, the league average is 48.5%. And again, Washington not only bogs down and doesn't score a touchdown, they don't get the field goal either. Dallas gets it at the 20. 6:06 to go. First quarter, no score. And here is Lassick swinging to the outside, picking up 3. Dallas minus Emmitt Smith. I talked to Smith on the phone about 10 minutes before the game tonight. He's in Pensacola, Florida. He said, I feel weird, definitely weird. I shouldn't be sitting here. I'm behind the team 100%. I think they're going to stalemate for a while. He does have some bitterness. He said, I promised Jerry Jones I would not negotiate in the newspapers, and I haven't, and Jerry has. And that is a well-taken point by Emmitt Smith. 2nd down and 6 at the 24-yard line.
Movement on the right side.
Yeah, you can see Williams rock back. Well, I know what Emmitt Smith saw in that last play. He saw his fullback, Daryl Johnston, put down 2 Washington Redskins
False
with a
start.
lead block.
Number 79,
Lassick.
offense. Prior to the snap, simulating the start of a play. 5-yard penalty, second down.
One thing people should understand about Emmitt Smith, and we've got to know him, he is a very articulate and very bright fella, and not the kind of guy who's going to be molded and twisted by an agent or outside sources. He explained his position very articulately tonight, and there it is. Over the past 2 years, he has been almost the entire rushing offense of the Dallas Cowboys. Here is Daryl Johnston, who gets about 2 carries a game, and that's why he doesn't go very far. Third down.
Well, I'm not sure Emmitt Smith would have gone very far with that lack of blocking on that particular play. Of course, one of the biggest problems with this play is that Daryl Johnston isn't leading the play blocking. He is a devastating blocker, and he knows what his role is, and it's to take care of Emmitt Smith. And tonight, it's to take care of Derek Lassick and Derek Gaynor, the 2 guys that will carry the ball the majority of time for Dallas.
Entire year last year, just 61 yards rushing for Johnston.
Third down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Boy, man came flying across the line.
Oh, no.
No guy. Wide open. His big play man, Alvin Harper. Touchdown. 80 yards.
A.J. Johnson, for some reason, just let Michael Irvin run my bike.
Pretty good coverage, huh?
Whether he was this is down at Dallas, Texas Stadium, where there's a tremendous crowd of 10,000 plus invited there by Gary Jones to look on.
Well, A.J. Johnson turns him over to Brad Edwards. Take a look on the outside of your screen, or Danny Copeland, number 26, the safety. He thinks that he's got him. Copeland's playing the receiver in the middle, and that is just a miscommunication between Johnson and Copeland. And it's impossible to sit here and speculate which is right and which is wrong. One of them was wrong, though.
I would say so.
Yep.
Copeland got locked up, his eyes on Jay Novacek, a great receiving tight end.
Lynn Elliott, meanwhile, who did not have a good preseason, blows the extra point. So 80 goes 80. Harper gives him 6, 4:28 to go in the quarter. Dallas has the lead. Outside Texas Stadium in Irving, they built a tent. There's a promotion that's drawn a lot of people who are watching the game in concert, and I hope you all have Nielsen books. Every one of you.
Dan said something so real. Won't be many times you'll see a Richie Pettibone defense blow a defense like that, letting Alvin Harper go totally free. A.J. Johnson and Danny Copeland on different pages.
Lynn Elliott sends a line drive through the hands of Brian Mitchell, who downs it in the end zone. And the Skins will take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, and now the worst thing that could happen has happened to the Redskins. Here they are playing a wounded football team without their superstar running back, and now they're trailing. And trailing at home, and the pressure will begin to mount. The longer they stay behind, the better Dallas does. The imposed pressure of being the favorite will begin to mount on the Redskins.
And they have Reggie Brooks, the Notre Dame rookie, in the backfield, and they love him. Here's his first NFL carry. There's a lot to love there. Through the middle he goes for 7. Ken Norton makes the hit.
One thing we haven't touched on, Terry Orr is not suited up tonight. He is the regular starting H-back, and that has kind of forced the offensive unit under Rod Dowauer, their offensive coordinator, to use a lot of double setback. That's the first time we have seen the single setback with Reggie Brooks, the rookie from Notre Dame, and they are using Ron Middleton, the tight end, as they did a moment ago, as the H-back.
Second down and 3, and Reggie Brooks, I believe, has picked up his first NFL first down. All he had to do was put the nose of the ball on the 30-yard line stripe, which he has. Maryland is in there to make the tackle. Reggie Brooks and the shaken-up Cowboy is Dixon Edwards, the starting left side linebacker.
And he took on, I think, Ron Middleton, who came across in motion, and he put a shot on Dixon Edwards that was big time.
He's the one we were saying is in there as the H-back. He has played that position, worked at it, but he is the regular tight end. But Terry Orr is not available tonight, and Edwards is limping off, the second-round draft pick who replaced Emmitt Smith at that left cornerback.
3:16 remaining. We're in the first quarter. Dallas leads 6-0 on an 80-yard touchdown reception by Alvin Harper. Rippon, who is 4 for 9 for 6 yards through the air. On 1st and 10. Changing the play. Play clock is down to 4. His 10th pass is caught by Sanders, and Ricky Sanders is thrust out of bounds at the 34-yard line by Kevin Smith after a pickup of 4.
Smith is a good example of how well this Cowboys secondary tackles. I'm not sure there's a team in the National Football League that does as much live tackling during practice, both in season and preseason, as do the Dallas Cowboys. And it's really reflected by how aggressive their secondary and linebackers are and how well they execute the open field tackle. They're very, very good at it.
Edwards is back in the game. Cowboys in their base 4-3. Here's Reggie Brooks. And Reggie takes it out to the 40-yard line, and that's very close to a first down. Robert Jones and Tony Tolbert in on the hit.
That's good, strong running by Reggie Brooks. He gained over 1,300 yards as a senior at Notre Dame. A good athlete, we know that, because he started out as a defensive back, then he went to tailback, back to defensive back. Finally, as a senior, had great numbers, averaged over 8 yards a carry, and Richie Pettibone is very open about it, as Richie is about everything. He says he can become a great one.
And it's still a formidable group of offensive linemen that he's running behind. Brown, McKenzie, Schlereth, and Simmons, along with Oluwanibi. This is still a quality group in Washington.
Brooks has picked up back-to-back first downs. I know why you remember him, Frank. All he did against USC last year was gain 227 yards.
I was going to bring it up. Say, that's impressive against Bakersfield High School.
There's Jim Hannafin, the Redskins offensive line coach. Think he's into the game? His boys are out there.
Yeah. Dan's old coach. First down at the 40-yard line. Brooks again, and this time he's wrapped up back in the line of scrimmage. He can't get on track. Russell Maryland slowed him down, and Tony Tolbert finished him off. 1:45 to go, opening quarter. 6-0 Cowboys.
Dan was talking about Redskins offensive line, the new hog, so to speak, still being very formidable, but they're going against the #1 defense against the rush last year. Haley and Lett and Jones and Tolbert. Casillas comes in, and Maryland, they rotate that defensive lineman all the time, keeping their fresh. They're all good size, but more than anything, they are quick.
2nd and 10 in the 40. Brooks on a draw. Nothing happening there, except he does turn a loss into a gain. Nothing happening, and he was the only guy who said, "You want to bet?"
Well, he spun right out of Tony Tolbert. The line of scrimmage. Tony came down, had him. Brooks spun away from him. Good, strong running.
And a big hand from the RFK partisans. They really appreciate it.
There's Oluwanibi and Haley gets underneath him, gets the leverage. Haley gets the first hit, but look, there's Tolbert, 92, and he wraps up Brooks, and Brooks takes Tolbert, who, keep in mind, is 6'6", 265. He took him at least 5 yards.
3rd and 5 at the 45-yard line.
Look out.
Pressure on Rippon, gets it off to Biner. Biner slips the tackle, takes it to the 49, and that's a first down.
Well,
Good read by Rippon.
And a couple second efforts by the Redskins, Frank.
Rippon looking downfield, looking for Sanders over on the left side. He knew exactly where Biner was going to be. Biner, a good receiver out of the backfield, and expected to carry a big load tonight with Terry Orr not available at H-back. He'll play there also. Look, Rippon reads to the left, comes back to Biner, and Biner breaks the tackle and picks up the first down.
And that is the end of the first quarter in Washington. Dallas 6 and the Redskins nothing. Back we come to RFK after this commercial message and a word from our ABC station. Some great college football Saturday. In fact, a triple header. It begins noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Notre Dame, Michigan. Then those games headlined by USC Penn State at 3:30 Eastern. Washington, Ohio State at night, 8 o'clock this Saturday. Biner and Brooks are in the backfield. Start the second quarter. 1st and 10 Washington, and they give it to Brooks. And the rookie from Notre Dame for a 15-yard pickup to the 34-yard line to start the second quarter.
Good slashing run over the right side. Brooks was a sprinter in high school back in Oklahoma, the 100 meters, 200 meters. You saw the acceleration then. He had a little gap and just kicked it into another gear. Gets a good block over the right side from Simmons. With a quick draw play, just spins away from one linebacker. It gets the first down. Good, strong running.
Cowboys have flipped Charles Haley. He's playing left defensive end now.
1st and 10 with 3 wide receivers, and the sole setback is Brooks. And the thing about Brooks, they loved him so much that Richie Pettibone indicated last night when preseason started he wanted Brian Mitchell to be the featured back. But Brooks has come on, and the only reason he didn't start tonight is he's a rookie. It's the first game. It's Dallas. It's Monday Night Football. But it didn't take him long to get in, and it may take him even longer to get him out of there.
I'll tell these youngsters, particularly at Notre Dame and places like Alabama, the lights might bother them for a couple of plays, but once they get hit, once they make contact, forget it. They can belong in there just like any other player, any veteran player.
2nd and 3 at the 26, 6-0 Dallas.
Dallas shows blitz, and Rippon changes.
Quick flip, McGee. And McGee, the ex-Cincinnati Bengal with a new home out of Washington, picks up the first down, run out of bounds at the 20-yard line by Larry Brown.
Good read by Rippon, and you're so right, Dan. Dallas very seldom blitzes, and they don't disguise it very much. And Rippon came up to the line of scrimmage, knew he was going to have single coverage, changed the play, got it off before the 42nd clock. And right now he's in a hurry because the 42nd clock is ticking down.
That 5-second difference doesn't sound like all that much, but it has really caused a problem. And you talk to coaches like we do during the preseason, we've yet to find one that's in favor of him.
There's a problem. He couldn't change his play now if he wanted to.
To say nothing of the analysts in the booth. Here's Reggie Brooks.
Well, 16 does give us 5 seconds of quality time together.
Less.
Those 5 seconds are important. You never know how you could finish off a wonderful point, and you just don't have the time to do it.
Or hang yourself. Long drive for Washington with 12:40 to go first half. RFK, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf. Our 24th season beginning in Washington. 65 yards thus far on a drive on which this is play number 12, 2nd and 6. At the 16-yard line, they take an end around to Sanders. And then Rippon throws incomplete, intended for Biner at the 5-yard line. Good coverage on the play by Kevin Smith. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Well, 2 things there are noteworthy. One, Mark Rippon, not the most agile of quarterbacks, makes Charles Haley miss him clean. And that was brilliant coverage by Kevin Smith. Locked up man on man. Haley doesn't normally let a quarterback like Rippon get away.
Rippon not the quickest in the world.
I'm sorry, that's Tony Tolbert, not Haley.
And Kevin Smith coming up to play, and a good reaction by the secondary.
Yeah, I want to correct myself. That was Tony Tolbert, 92, not 94.
3rd down and 6. Monk was in motion. Rippon throw to Sanders. Touchdown.
Dallas in that soft zone, and Sanders and Rippon splitting the cornerback and the safety.
I think it's almost identical to what happened to Washington when Harper scored. Kevin Smith appeared to be confused as to whether it was man or zone.
Take a look at it again. Rippon looking Sanders all the way. Kevin Smith not dropping deep enough on that zone. Everett couldn't get over it.
And the difference in the game now is Lohmiller's extra point after that 13-play drive. 12:13 to go in the first half. Washington 7, Dallas 6. ABC's Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Jeep and Eagle, a division of the Chrysler Corporation, and by Anheuser-Busch, who proudly brings you Family Talk. Let's stop underage drinking before it starts. Washington Monument, the Capitol, and into RFK Stadium, where the Redskins kick off on top 7-6. Williams, who fumbled that punt earlier from the 9-yard line, swings to the outside. Flag goes down. Tackled by A.J. Johnson up at the 19-yard line. Jerry Markwright is the ref.
Kevin Williams perhaps making another rookie mistake, trying to sprint that east and west instead of north and south, and he lost the foot race. Here he comes. Robert Jones. There it is right there. There's the face mask. Number 47, A.J. Johnson, getting a hand in there.
Number 51
They call
on
the
the
hold
return.
first.
Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Ken Norton was holding. They called the hold, and face mask went without a flag.
12:03 remaining in the first half. The Dallas Cowboys playing as an underdog for maybe the only time all season tonight. This is the only game they do not figure to be favored, and certainly if Emmitt Smith comes back. And on first down, Alvin Harper makes the catch up at the 17. When you think about it, if Dallas wins tonight's game, they will have won a game without Emmitt Smith in Washington, in, as I say, the only game in which they figure to go in as the underdog this season.
Well, if they show they're able to win without Emmitt Smith, you're right. That will guarantee the fact they won't be an underdog anymore the rest of the year. They're a ways away from doing that.
Second down and 1. And on a delay, this is Derek Lassick. Lassick is out of Rockland County, New York, about 50 miles from New York City. Was recruited by Alabama when Bill Curry was there. Had some family in Montgomery. Almost left Alabama after his freshman year and really didn't play a lot until he was a senior. He was behind Saran Stacy and others, and then finally came into his own last year. And he is only one of 4 rookies ever to start for a defending Super Bowl champion. There are the others, and Lassick is the first running back. Interesting, Darrell Green was the last to start for Washington after they won the Super Bowl. Green still playing, of course, at corner. First down at the 20-yard line. Aikman pump fakes, going deep, and Irvin with contact with Green. No flag, incidental bumping, and incomplete.
Well, the reason he's the first running back to start for a defending Super Bowl champion is it's pretty hard to win the Super Bowl without a quality running back. It just happened to be fate that the quality running back that propelled the Cowboys to the Super Bowl last year is sitting in Pensacola, Florida.
One thing we have not seen yet from the Cowboys, and that is their tight end, Jay Novacek. 68 receptions a year ago. He makes it so easy for Harper and Irvin on the outside because he's like a wide receiver that plays tight end. Number 84, Jay Novacek.
He lines up on the right side. Here is Lassick. Lassick is able to find a bit of a hole and exploit it for a 5-yard gain. Out to the 26-yard line, it'll be third down and 5. Monty Coleman and Brad Edwards converge on the hit. Lassick has now carried 7 times for 28 yards.
Well, he came into tonight also with a very sore knee. Hurt his knee last week against the Bears. Tough youngster. 4th-round draft pick, as we mentioned, gets a little bit of a breather.
They bring in Kevin Williams. This is what they've been doing in third down tonight. They've been lining up Johnston in the backfield, going to the wide out set. They have to get to the 31. Here comes a Redskin blitz. The Cowboys do a beautiful job of picking it up, and Novacek makes his first catch of the season up at the 33-yard line for a first down.
And with those 4 wide receivers in there, Novacek, the flags come in late.
Very late.
Novacek was picked up by linebackers instead of the strong safety who was over helping on the outside against Irvin. He holds on to the ball. Super catch by Novacek. And he has wonderful hands. At 6'4" and 230 pounds, like Brent Jones of the 49ers. He puts so much pressure on the defense. You have to cover him man for man with the defensive back.
Illegal substitution foul. 12 men on the field. Defense. Penalties declined. First down.
It's really embarrassing to have 12 men on the field and still allow the opposition to complete a pass for the first down.
That's again a defensive error. We saw one earlier that allowed Alvin Harper to score from 80 yards out.
Here's the penalty from the right part of the screen, from the bottom part. And there's the the 12th man.
Wasn't hard to find, was he?
First down, Dallas up at the 34-yard line. Here's Lassick again, and Lassick out past the 40. Derek Lassick to the 42-yard line. He's tackled by Monty Coleman. That's a gain of, let's call it 8.
And that is awesome blocking by the Cowboy offensive line. They just obliterated the Redskins on that side of the ball, and Lassick wasn't even contested. Take a look at the blocking on the right side here by Gogan and Williams. Look at that hole. Great lead block by Johnston. And there is a case, though, Frank, where Lassick and his tendencies to go laterally might have cost him some yardage right there. He might have been better served by slashing right on upfield.
Second and a short 2, and we've got whistles. No play.
Yeah, there must have been contact in there before either that or a false start, one or the other.
False start.
Yep.
Number 61. Prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Nate Newton turns a 2nd and 2 into a 2nd and 7 with 8:44 to go in the half. 7-6 Redskins.
Nate's the second guy in. Oh yeah, you see him rise up. His hand doesn't come up off the ground, but he raised up in his haunches, and that's enough of a move to get you slapped with the false start.
2nd and 7 from the Dallas 37-yard line. Aikman hitting Harper, and that's a first down. He lost the football at the Washington 47. Darrell Green, who can fly, comes up with it. Green to the outside. And finally tackled by Johnston.
You talk about being in the right place at the right time. There's a flag upfield.
Back at the 45.
Darrell Green was the guy who had the coverage on Alvin Harper to begin with. He was way too loose on Harper. Harper catches the pass easily, and then it comes loose. A very fortunate bounce for Darrell. Now let's see if Washington gets to keep the ball. And you're right, he is a dangerous man once he's in the open.
Holding number 58. Washington after the recovery on the return. 10-yard penalty. First down, Washington.
That's Carl Banks, the former Giant.
The key there, it came after possession was already Washington. See, Darrell's way too loose on Harper, and there it comes.
I think they were releasing him to the inside man. They're hoping the safety man picked him up. Aikman and Harper both read it at the same time, and Aikman fired it in. He fumbles the ball, and you're right. Darrell Green, right place at the right time.
Give Kurt Gouveia credit. He's the guy who made the hit on Harper and forced the ball out. Check this out. He's number 54. There he comes, and he puts his left hand right on the football and pops it out.
There's a middle linebacker who makes a lot of big plays.
Yep.
Kurt Gouveia creates the fumble. Washington has it at the 45-yard line. 5-man Cowboy front, and Ken Norton had an easy pick and dropped it.
Now that ball had a little sauce on it when it got to Norton.
That's an easy pick, Al. I'd like to throw you one.
That baby had a little taco sauce on it when it got to him.
That'd have been helmet high. He would have been eating it.
Yeah. It did hit him in the hands.
Well, try it by speeding it up, though. Craig's on your side, our director.
It did hit him in the hands, but that baby had some jalapenos strapped to it.
Mitchell is the tailback. Middleton leads the way, and he takes it up to the 47-yard line. Russell Maryland makes the tackle. RFK from straight above.
Perfect night to play. Warm night, but it's not hot. Low humidity.
It's the Cowboys and the Redskins at RFK. Every football Sunday or Monday should be just like this. This is perfect.
3rd and 7 at the 48-yard line. Rippon throws it out to Sanders, and there's a flag down. Ricky, for the moment, had the first down.
Well, Rippon must be changing at least 40% of his calls tonight. Highly unusual against Dallas. They don't show you a lot of different things. But he's seeing something different.
False start. Number 83 simulating the snap. The foul occurred prior to the snap. The play does not count. 5-yard penalty, third down.
How does a wide receiver simulate the snap?
I think he meant Raleigh McKenzie, the center, 63.
Yeah. He said 83, and you're right. He had to be referring to the center. He's the only one, I would assume, who can simulate a snap.
He does look like a guilty simulator.
Please reset the game clock to 7:29. 7:29 on the game clock.
Somebody pointed. I think it was the left guard, Ray Brown.
No, yeah, Eloanibi, I think the left tackle is the one who's pointing, but that's not simulating a snap. You're allowed to point, and I certainly didn't see any movement by McKenzie. Well, they're closer than we were.
Doesn't mean they're right.
No.
Third down and 12 at the 43-yard line.
Ripping is changing again.
On a delay, this is Ernest Biner, and the venerable one who gained 998 yards last season. Gets it up to the 47. He's still well shy of the first down. Gant and Haley make the hit, and Washington will punt. Week 2 next week. Next Monday, we go to Cleveland. The 49ers coming off their win yesterday against Pittsburgh. Steve Young is back and healthy, and we'll talk to him at halftime tonight, in fact, against the Browns, who fell behind 14-0 and then scored 27 consecutive points to beat Cincinnati 27-14. 49ers Browns next Monday night.
Defensive effort by the Browns yesterday.
Here's Goodburn's punt. And, well, when you're a rookie, you make the catch inside the 5. Otherwise, you don't. There's a flag down. He takes it back to the 15. 48-yard kick, 10-yard return, penalty marker.
And that will almost automatically warrant you a heart-to-heart chat with Mr. Johnson when you get over to the sideline.
That's funny. We keep saying when you're a rookie, but you know, in college they teach you the same thing basically.
No, he just lost track of where he was.
Holding on number 37 receiving team. While the kick was in the air, it's a post-possession foul. The penalty is from the end of the run. Half the distance to the goal. First down, timeout.
Thank you, Jerry. He did everything but lead us to a commercial. I'll do that. We'll be back.